Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our last Data Plus Women Zurich event before the summer break. As you can see, I put a beautiful flower t-shirt to give us a sense of summer. Here in Zurich, it's very rainy, so it looks not very much the summer side. But anyway, welcome. We will have fun tonight, and I'm sure learning a lot of things from our amazing speaker. So just some word about what is Data Plus Women. Yes, it's just a networking group for women working around with data. And yeah, our purpose is really to promote women, celebrate their success, and just share from each other and learn from each other. If you want to speak to our next event, please contact us. We will be happy to have you on stage. We are two co-leaders for this Data Plus Women Zurich event. I have the chance to be working on this project with Olivia Switz, that she's a brilliant data scientist from Migros. And yeah, my name, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Anna Rincon. I'm leading the visual analytics Tableau community at Fontobel. And you can obviously contact us anytime. So I will let Olivia make the speaker introduction. Have fun, enjoy, and see you later.
Thank you very much, Annabelle. Also a warm welcome from my side. I'm Olivia, as you already know, and excited to be here tonight with Judit. We have a special design event tonight. So after the welcoming speech, in a few seconds, Judit will tell us anything about inspiration and where we can get it from and where we can find it. So a few words about Judit before she starts. She is a data visualization designer. She's currently based in Budapest. She already told us that it's very hot there. So as compared to Zurich, they have tropical temperatures. She loves anything with beautiful things, and she loves designing, she loves arts. I think she loves a lot of things, so I'm excited to hear about her more and yeah, to speak about where we can find inspiration. So Judit, the stage is yours.
Thank you, and hi everyone. I will start sharing my screen. Just a moment. Oops. Okay, hit share, and then the other thing I need to do is, okay, should be fine now. I don't have that many slides. I would experiment with another type of thing today, like showing what I did and what was the inspiration behind. So I figured it's not that useful to just add print screens to a PPT. I would rather just show it. And I named my presentation Welcome to Me, because what I prepared in terms of inspiration is all the stupid things I do, and maybe they add up to something great at the end. Sometimes they are utterly pointless. And my father always tells me that I do so many stupid things that at least he's happy that I'm never bored. Like, for example, this picture here, when we got our first vacuum tablet at the company, I wanted to try it out like instantly. So that was the first picture on my phone. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna draw some mustaches to my face and my friends, and then a bird and ice cubes and stuff. And I happen to really like this picture, and I do it a lot. Sometimes it's really pointless, but sometimes it can turn into something I think great, which will come in the next slide. Just a disclaimer from my end that if you have any questions or even comments along the way, feel free to shoot it. You will don't disrupt my presentation. I'm happy to have them, because I'm afraid of not having any topics or enough topics to talk about. This is my biggest fear when giving presentations. So I will be grateful if you ask questions. Okay, so a little bit about me, and the only thing I think it's important is because of the topics I usually choose. So they are not like random. As Olivia said, I like a lot of things. I'm still a kid. My mom buys me Lego for my birthday, and I got the lunar lander from her 2 years ago, and then before that the Harry Potter castle. So I think she just made peace with me not ever growing up. I really love biking. I'm obsessed with everything in connection with space. I'm never bored. I'm scared of pigeons. There are no pigeon visualizations on my portfolio, so I don't think there ever will be. I really love the font Futura. You will see that actually, I think 80% of my visualizations are using the Futura font family. I don't know what's with Futura. I'm just stuck on it. The only thing, maybe that was the reason, and I don't know how many of you know that, but on the moon landing project, Futura was used like really widely on the space ship and the lander and all the mission. So that was the official font of the moon landing. Very, very important fact about me. I still know Home Alone 2 by heart. We can synchronize the whole film with my brother together. That drives our parents crazy. I read a lot of books and I can fall in love with the book characters. My biggest crush is the Count of Monte Cristo. So dips on him. And I collect plants. I'm more and more successful in keeping them alive. And I'm a notorious trash content visualizer, which you can see on the pictures as well. So whenever whenever I see something I can see another thing into, I'm just drawing on it instantly. So I'm really grateful for the opportunities when something like this, an ice cream accident happens. Yep. And professionally, because it's not just, life is not just fun, even though I want to make, I like to make fun of a lot of things, but I think this can add to the context of who I am. I have a political science degree. I worked a few years in political science, but not to be pessimistic, I don't know how much you know about the Hungarian political situation, but this is not something I enjoy. So that was not the way for me to go. And then I joined Nielsen as a market analyst. And then it was like an evolution from step to step to just get here. I worked for Unilever, I worked for Mondelez. They have the headquarters in Switzerland. I'm sure you all know Milka chocolate or Cadbury's overseas. And that was the job. I really liked it, but FMCG companies still tend to lag behind in technology. So even though the job was really great and I enjoyed working with biscuits and chocolates, who wouldn't? But data analysis was still just Excel and PowerPoint, which I couldn't imagine doing until my pensioner years. So I started learning like Tableau, Power BI, graphic design tools, a little SQL, R, and a bit of everything. And not later, I think I spent less than a year learning these new things. And then I joined Star Schema back in 2017. And I just stuck in data visualization. So I'm still a data visualization expert. I'm just working at a German company fully remotely right now. So it has its challenges, but the freedom it gives is like really, really great. And just, I really love showing where my first inspirations came from, because number one, it's funny, and I'm even proud of these things as well. So let me just open the browser. Okay. I hope you can still see it. Okay. Quick challenge. I thought I was logged in. I rarely use Canva these days, but this is a really great tool for just making infographics or designing invitations. There are a lot of templates, resumes. So if you would like to try out this infographic style, I would really recommend trying out Canva. It has built-in chart types as well, really simple ones, but still it's really great. And all my designs, you can see that I made a lot of crap. In the first couple of years, I started out in data visualization. Let me just show a couple. Like this is one of my favorites. I'm still on trash content, and how I sourced my inspiration was from like BuzzFeed, and I was searching for like stupid statistics, and this was the one I found. Maybe it's already broken. But it's a small infographic style with about how much money Kevin McAllister spent in Home Alone 2 in New York. Or there's another about the Big Mac index. And I remember I did this infographic for a day because how I did this, how much a Big Mac costs in different countries, is that I made bar charts and then I sliced the hamburgers where the bar chart stood so that it would be accurate, and it was a really tedious job. I didn't know how to do it right. And same with the little fries here. How many minutes do you need to work to earn a Big Mac, which is like still crazy. You have to work awful lot in Ukraine to get that same burger than you do in Switzerland, for example. So I did a lot of visualizations like this. Some are better, some are not that great, but it was a start. And I could see how I progressed over the month I spent with it. So for example, when we look at one of the first, which is like, I guess it was one of the first, it's really cluttered. And it has like a lot of styles, like whatever I found on the internet and downloaded, I just put it here. After like 5 years of experience and watching how people who are designers do it, I would never do it once again. But at the time, I was really, really satisfied with this visualization. And even when I was still just working in Canva, I realized that a unified style makes it look a bit better. So I try to focus on, like, it's still some things are out of place, but I started to focus on getting a little bit more unified design. So I think maybe it's a bit better than the first one. How many hot dogs US citizens eat? So this is where I started, and I think the sources of inspiration didn't change that much. At that time, I was actively searching for new content because I had the time and I wanted to just practice and do a viz every day or 3 times a week, and there was just not enough things I could find I would enjoy doing. So I picked a couple of topics that were not that close to my heart. This is something I wouldn't do now. I rather pick something that's really close to my heart and spend days or weeks on it because I enjoy it. So yeah, Canva is a great tool. Try it out if you are interested. And there's something I want to ask you because I'm really, really curious. I won't even just click on the big view. And I made a questionnaire here, which I think I can add to the chat. Yep. Okay, so this is the question, and if you can just give an answer to that, it has two options, then I would be really grateful, because I'm just curious. I started to think about this today, and yeah, we have two responses, a beautiful pie chart, and everybody says topics so far. I don't know if it refreshes. And for me, I think it's both, but still, I think I'm shifted to styles, and you will see when I show how I source my inspiration, that I think someone called it design-driven visualizations. When you see something and you can imagine how the end result would look like, but you don't have a data, you don't have a topic, so you need to search for a topic to match that style. And it's not, it's hard in different ways than visualizing a topic. Topic can attract my attention, style is important. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's maybe shifted to topics, but you answer both. Yeah, I can totally understand that. And then I structured my presentation into two parts, like getting vises that I was inspired to do by a topic, and then by something I saw on the internet. So here are a couple of examples of the first one, which was my quarantine project. When the lockdown started in Hungary, I was like, I'm not complaining, I'm an introvert. I feel okay being alone at home, but I started to have a lot of free time, and the weather was not that nice, so I was stuck inside. And I was started thinking about what I can visualize, and I made a set of visualizations. All of them have the same style about what I'm doing at home at the moment. And this was the first one, the name Coachella. A lot of people think I made it up, but no. It was made by Gemma Correll. She's an icon. This book is called The Warrior's Guide to Life. It's not an infographic style book, but it's similar. So I source a lot of info from her. Gemma Correll is like a goddess. So it was her term. She came up with it. And I just visualized what I watched in the past 3 weeks. Nothing special, and I'm really not proud of what I watched in the first 3 weeks, like the Queen's Corgis or What Men Want, and I don't even want to remember the others. But just I was not entirely inspired by the topic, because I want to show you what the inspiration was behind the whiz, and it was another visualization by my former colleague Yvette Kovacs. It's a job application dashboard, so you can see that it was definitely my visualization was definitely sourced from her design. And then the second visualization from the same series was my favorite one. This is a really pointless visualization. Like, it has I like it a lot, but it doesn't really make sense. I was riding my bike one day. I remember I had a really terrible headache, and then I was biking on the banks of the Danube, and I was like, I'm just going to draw the apartment and measure how much time I spend there doing what. So I took out the tape when I got home, and I measured all the walls and drew this outline in Illustrator. And then I realized how much space I have in the apartment that I don't use at all. Like, can you imagine I have this really big space here that I can only use for drying clothes. And even my toilet has a hole. So it's crazy. This apartment needs a really, really big makeover. So this is planned for next year. And the third visualization was inspired by this topic from the same set. And this was when I realized I have to buy my apartment because it's half owned by me, half my brothers, so I need to save money. And I realized that since I can't go anywhere, I don't even spend money. So there was February 2000, I don't even know what year was that, 2020. Yeah, 2020, last year. Before quarantine, this line, the purple, is the amount of money I spent on myself. And it was relatively like big amounts, like silly me. I bought a plane ticket to Tel Aviv, which of course I didn't go, but I still went to the gym and concerts. So I spent relatively a lot of money on myself. And then there came March, partially in quarantine. The amount of money spent on myself dropped significantly. And then April, which was the first month, we were home and couldn't go anywhere. And you can see that I have one item I spent on myself that was not like paying bills or eating. And it was, oh, I bought a book. I still remember which book that was. I bought a book in April. So these were my first set of topic inspired visualization, and I really enjoyed making them. And I think overall, I enjoy topic driven visualizations the best, but sometimes I'm more satisfied if the two comes together, like style and topic. So another one from this set of series, maybe it was this link. Yeah. So my big project last year was that I logged everything I watched during the year. And I think some people think that I just downloaded my Netflix statistics, but it was not like that. Let me just show you what I did for a year every day. This was the spreadsheet I had, and I filled it in every day. It has 760 rows. And I added all the things I watched, films, series, all the details. And you know, if you watch something that just came out and you logged the IMDb rating, you have to go through it once again at the end of the year. So I'm really satisfied with the outcome. I would never do it again, like ever, this one. And the funny thing about this project is that I was super anxious about it because I spent a lot of time, and up until the last days of December, I didn't know if it's worth it at all, if it's gonna be something I'm satisfied with. And I started to feel a bit of stress about it. But then I was scrolling through my Pinterest, one of my Pinterest boards, because I use a Pinterest board for everything. And this is what I saw, this pepper bottle. And I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna do this, like what light my mind this year, and I'm just gonna do a radial chart around it, and I think it would look amazing. And sad thing for me that this inspiration came around 11 p.m. And when something just comes into my mind, I can't sleep until I at least know that it will work. So I need to try it out. And I think I went to sleep that night around 4 a.m. And that was the point when I was like, okay, this will work. It's not ready. It's gonna take a couple of more days to finish, but it's going to work. So yeah, and that was the outcome, like nothing fancy. And I'm not proud of this, but I need to say it out loud every time that when someone thinks I can make this radial bar chart on my own, I did it like 10 times. I still can't do it without a tutorial. So I use what other people take or experiment with on the internet. I can do it, and it's totally normal if you can't do it either. So if you need to look at the tutorial, just do so. It's no shame. I do it every time. So yep. And then my biggest thing I did recently about a project, a topic-based thing was when I visualized how many coffees people drank in Twin Peaks. I don't know if how familiar are you with Twin Peaks, but Sons of Anarchy. I just watched the mid of the 5th season today. Okay, so Twin Peaks, I think, is a really great show. What you need to know about this, that the first series or the original first season was aired in 1989. And that was the first television show in history when it was centered around one murder. Like before that, it was like everything was like Columbo or Poirot. That something happened in each episode and then it was solved. But this was the first time a girl was killed, and they just circled around the mystery, and it was a really big deal. But the big thing for me was that they drank a lot of coffees. So I felt like I will make a visualization about, oopsie, I need to copy this. So I want to make a visualization about the coffees they drank. Okay, it's not that. Whatever, I will just go from here. So I watched the series again, which is like around 40 hours. And every time I saw someone drink a coffee, I stopped it and then logged the coffee event. And it took like a lot of time, but I thought I will be bored to hell and I would never want to see that series again. But actually I'm thinking about watching it like properly from the beginning. So this was the end result. Like a Gantt chart about the coffee scenes. The color code is who drink, I mean, the main characters who drank a coffee, and the circles, how many coffees were drank in that scene. So the bigger the circle, the more people drank coffee. But the thing was that I had the idea that, okay, I decided that I will count the number of coffees in Twin Peaks, but I had no clue how I want to visualize it. So I was like, okay, I never did this. I'm gonna do a live blog about where I am. And it's really funny to have a look at it retrospectively, because I didn't do, I didn't know what I will do like at all. I started logging the coffees, and then the first idea that came, that this is a map of Twin Peaks, and I was like, okay, maybe I could visualize where those coffees were drank. But then I realized that, okay, the first 2 seasons are playing in Twin Peaks, but the third is not. Okay, trash can, it won't work. And then maybe the menu of the diner, and I kind of liked it, but I realized it's not my style. So again, trash. And then I made a Pinterest board to have some inspiration about the topic. I always do that, even if I don't use it, I think it's useful. And then a couple of days later, I had the first look at the chart, and I liked it so much, I decided that, okay, this is a great start. We should build something around that. Yeah, I had some doubts about how I'm collecting the data, and what's a good detail and what's not a good one. And I had this first experiment with showing Agent Cooper's head under the Gantt chart. And actually, the idea in my head looked much better, because what I imagined was something like this, but I was just so far that I decided to ditch this idea as well. A couple of days later, there came another idea that maybe I could use like double visual language style. Like maybe the color can be who drank the coffee, and something on top of that, that means maybe where they drank it. Like, for example, if there are vertical lines, that can be the diner. When there are like this 45-degree, that can be, I don't know, the police station. And it was a nice way to start. I thought it can be something. I even made a digital version of this, because I felt that maybe this could work. And then I tried it out, and it was so small that it was barely visible. So I was really disappointed at that point that I need to abandon this idea. I did nothing for a couple of days instead of baking a cherry pie, like in the movie, because maybe that would give me some new ideas. No, but then I accidentally came across a font that I really fell in love with. I never paid money for any font. I used things that are commercially available, but this was the first time, like, I saw it and I knew that this is gonna be mine. So when I downloaded it, it's called Ogenblick Italic, I guess. Maybe it's pronounced something differently. But after that, everything was ready in an hour, and nothing changed, like minor spelling mistakes. But it was a journey, and I was really anxious because I announced that I will live blog this, and I didn't know if at the end it would turn out like something at all, or if it would turn out great. So I'm really happy with this process. I was super anxious, but it came out I think great. Okay, then. Oh, I'm really good at spending time talking. I just realized. Okay, now to the other topic, because I do want to have some discussions about the stuff that was inspired by something I saw on the internet. So I think it's another type of inspiration sourcing. And I'm going to just show a couple of vises and inspirations side by side, or hopefully one after the other. So there's a visualization I did about the visitors of a Hungarian festival that look like this. And surprise, surprise, this was the inspiration behind that. So it's almost identical. But I always credit what I source my inspiration from, and okay, it's not 100% identical, but the similarity is uncanny, let's say. And then there's another visualization I made about Lady Gaga and the Grammys she has, how many YouTube listenings. And fun fact, I don't not like her, I'm just not a fan. But how this visualization came into being is that I wanted to have this style, and whoever I had a picture of that looks like this, I would have made a viz about that. So if it were like Nicolas Cage, it would have been Nicolas Cage, the first person I found. Okay, there's another one here. I might just close a couple of windows before it breaks on me. Cool. Periodic table, that's my favorite, because this is something I never shared, I guess, anywhere, and it has a lot of likes, and I credited the original. I didn't do any, I even had the colors from the original. I just made it in Tableau. So if I go to the original, this is what I saw on the internet. I even sourced the colors from that. And another one, like I have a visualization about mental illness, where I just placed one of the bar charts instead, or in front of the girl, to not to see her anyway, closed eyes. And the inspiration behind that was this graphic, which is the same approach. It's just something different. Okay, this is one of my favorites, the next one that's coming. I made a visualization almost, it's in Tableau, because a lot of things are in Tableau because of the tooltips, but most of the stuff I make in Illustrator or Figma, or actually you can even do it in PowerPoint. So this is the visualization, and the inspiration behind that, I'm sure a lot of you know this, but there's a whole inspiration board behind this. So it's a lot of cities have these city fact brochures. So I just wanted to make mine about Budapest. And maybe one more, and then we can go into discussions. Infinite Jest is one of my favorite books from last year. It was a really huge commitment to read it. And this is the visualization I made out of it based on this graphic. I think my ultimate motto is still with pride, and just whatever you see, make it your own. Just don't copy it one-on-one. But otherwise, I don't think there are a lot of original ideas out there. I have a couple of visualizations that I think they are original, but if I have to say a ratio, I would say 5%. So yeah, I think there's something I added to my presentation as a backup if I just can't fill the time. But if you have any comments or questions, I would just rather have a discussion.
I mean, I think that we can wait for the audience to put some Q&A question on the Q&A. We can use Q&A to ask any question. On the meantime, I will enjoy and ask you some questions, Judith. I think it was a great presentation. I really appreciate. And I think that, yeah, I really like the term still like an artist. And I think that,
yeah.
one, for instance, on the Alone at Home, I don't remember the movie, when you did like this first visualization, I would like to know where the inspiration come from doing a visualization about the money that will have been spent. Because did you like wanted to do like all alone at home and do a visualization about that, and you were searching, or something come up on your mind and you say, hey, I will visualize that?
Yeah, so the inspiration about that was that I needed to start saving money, and I had a spreadsheet when I feel that, okay, this month I need to spare this much money to reach the goal, to spend to have this this much money by the end of the year. And yeah, and at just one point I decided, okay, I just gonna visualize my spending structure, and I'm still doing that. I'm using an app for that, and those apps really don't look great. Like I could improve all of them. I haven't find anything that doesn't have a pie chart with 25 categories. But yeah, it came from life. It was inspired by life.
That's good. That's good. And about like the first, as a tree, I think that you showed three visualization that are exactly the same style. That was black background with certain color schema. Where did you find the color schema? Because it was not exactly the same from the original idea that you showed.
Yeah. Actually, I can show you what was the inspiration behind the color schema, because I have a really great friend who is really active in the Tableau community, and his name is Tamás Varga. And he does a lot of amazing quizzes, but my favorite is one of his really early works. And I think the basis of the colors were from this visualization. It's gonna be here somewhere. Oh, it's really old, then I should say. This is the one. So the background is the same black, I guess, and that I want to have something like a purple, a blue, and a red-ish, pink-ish came from here. Otherwise, what I meant by similar style is that all of them has the same width, height not, because it was like a different kind of design idea I had, and the same font, and the colors are the same, like for the fonts and for the chart elements as well.
And now we have questions, you see.
Yes, I also have some questions. But before that, maybe we can read the questions in the Q&A chat, because I actually had the same question. So the first one would be, I like to know how much time you allow yourself to gather and prepare the data, because you have shown huge dedication to this.
I would say whatever it takes. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with Makeover Monday. I encourage it. I think it's a great thing, but and I do it sometimes as well. But what I enjoy the most is analyzing something that was never there before. And it's not like I'm gathering the data for weeks or a year and I'm not sharing it, because if it's not my data, then I'm happy to add it to data.world. But I think this is what excites me, like doing a visualization on a topic that was not done by anyone before. So yeah, it can be a year, it can be weeks. I don't really care if I'm interested in the data enough.
Or it can just take one night, right?
Yeah, sometimes it is. And yeah.
So the other question, and that was also my question, what do you do when you face a lack of inspiration or creativity? We saw that you baked a cake, but I think that's not always the solution to the problem, right?
Yeah. What I do is actually I don't do anything. Like if there's no inspiration, then you can't do anything about it. Just go out, have a drink with friends, bake a pie. And if it lasts for a week, then it's a week. If for a month, then it's a month. Sometimes I don't have any ideas, and it's just fine. I think if you struggle, it will show.
All right. So the next question would be, how would you feel if we make over one of your vises or work?
I would really love to see that. There was a guy in he's in UI UX design, a French guy who started doing makeovers from the Tableau community from a design perspective. And I wrote him that I would really like him to take one of mine, because I'm just interested in different point of views. But sure, Rodrigo, if you want to make over some of my visits, I can send it over to you. My visits are not downloadable because I have some really negative experiences around that. I know it's not that nice, not making it downloadable, and I'm considering to make them downloadable again. But if you want to do it, just shoot me a message. I will send it over to you, whatever you prefer.
Cool. Then we have another one from Alexandra. She says, thank you for this talk, and it's really nice to get this insight into how you found design and topic ideas and how these evolved. So her question is, how do you know that your data viz is done or ready to share for public?
Yeah, first of all, I'm a big fan of Alexandra. She's doing visualizations in R, and I just can't get enough of looking at her visualizations. How do I know that data viz is done? I think there are two. For me, it can happen in two ways. Like I had enough of looking at them, and I'm bored. I just don't want to look at it ever again. So I consider it done. But most of the time, I usually sleep on it like for a day. And if I don't have any like breakthrough ideas by the morning on how to change it, then I think it's ready. Most of the time I feel it's ready, like, okay, for the time being, I'm really satisfied with it. Maybe I would change something in 2 years, but now I can be proud of what I did.
I think sleeping over it is always a good idea.
Yeah.
So the next question is, and I'm also curious, although I know you talked about it on Twitter, how do you feel about certain opinions that visualizations need to be made in one tool to be considered as valid work?
Yeah, it's a huge trigger point for me, but I don't think, I mean, you can do data visualizations purely in PowerPoint and they could look amazing. Like you can't even tell if it's Illustrator or Figma or whatever. And even though I'm a Tableau ambassador and a Tableau Zen master, that doesn't mean that I only do visualizations in Tableau. I'm learning R at the moment. I'm getting more and more confident in ggplot and exploring row graphs. And you can make data visualizations solely in Illustrator. So I don't think data visualization equals to Tableau. I use Tableau at work. I think Tableau is the best tool to use at work for corporate reporting, but I don't think it's everything.
Very neutral answer, a Swiss answer. So the next question, wow, we are getting so many questions. That's cool. How much of these artistic ideas that you share in Tableau public are you applying at your job? It's a very interesting.
My biggest weakness is my superpower is honesty. So I think if you have a great Tableau public portfolio, you can get the best jobs. Like the job I'm doing now, it's really a step up from where I'm coming from, like both in terms of responsibility and financially as well. And that's only because I have a portfolio. On the other hand, I'm not doing that at work. So they or companies hire you or people like me because they have a great Tableau public portfolio, because they can visualize coffees in Twin Peaks in Adobe Illustrator. But at the end of the day, I'm doing the same job as any other data analyst. And I think it's great like that, because if I were to do this at work, I would hate it. Like I couldn't even look at pet projects after work. So it's good on the job market to have a flashy portfolio, but not because you can use it at work, or I think.
Yeah. Then there's another question, I think, for addressed or targeted for beginners. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting? How often should they be working on projects?
I think it's always great to work on something you are really passionate about, because then you have the drive to do it and you don't feel like it's a waste of time to spend an evening on it. Like, for example, if you are into reading books, you can visualize what you read in the past year or this year, or what are your plans, and you will not get bored of it. On the other hand, for starters, I would really recommend to take part in a community project where you don't have to make like artistic type of visits, but it's a regular exercise, whether it's like Makeover Monday or Iron Quest for Tableau or Tidy Tuesday for the R folks. I think it's great to have to practice if you are not doing it at work. Because it's there where you learn the tricks. What I do here in these artistic things, it's bar charts and Gantt charts, but from this I would never learn how to use parameter actions or how to apply the right aesthetics in ggplot, because I can form the data however I like to. If I have an obstacle, I won't go into calculations. I will just change my data. Like, it's so much easier, but it's not close to real life.
All right. So there's one last question. Do you ever abandon a Viz project? If so, what would lead to that?
Oh God, yes. I can tell an example that was a catastrophe. Like, I have this board here, and I just really hope that it will be here somewhere. Yeah, it was this. I had the idea to visualize crying statistics. And that the tears would come from the eyes of a girl, and the tears were like Sankey diagrams, and I visualized it to look like this, and I think it's nice, but how it came out, like I got like instant eye cancer just by looking at it. So that was the point when I thought that, okay, never again, not even the topic. Like, it's so bad. And there are a couple of other examples like that, but that's the first one that always comes to my mind, because it was just so bad.
I cannot imagine that it was so bad.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any other questions? I think this is the last chance, because we're slowly coming to an end.
whoever has any questions after that, just shoot me a message on Twitter. I'm happy to answer anyway, anytime.
Even better. So thank you so much, Judit. Very inspirational, and amazed by what ideas are swirling around your head, really. Amazing to see that. And I hope all the participants, the whole audience is inspired even more, and gets on starting to do their own business. So I think we have a few other words still to say before we close the meetup.
Yeah, I just want to say that I was really happy to be here, and yeah, I really like this presentation, not being a presentation. So thank you for all the questions. It's really made my day.
All right, so exactly. This time, I think we all amazed by how active everyone was here and how many questions were coming. So thank you for that. That also makes it easier and more fun for us. But of course, we are always looking for people who inspire us and who want to present and talk, as Annabelle already mentioned at the beginning. So please get in touch with us. Also stay tuned for some other events. We have a summer break now, but I think the next one is already coming in September, if I remember correctly, for the Data Plus Women Zurich. And then we have another event we can advertise. I think it's coming on July 28th, and the subject is sports, women and data, how to stay in the championship mindset. So I think the topic is related to the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. Please feel free to sign up there as well. I think you can find the details in the internet if you look for the Sports, Women and Data event on the Tableau Hub, right?
Apparently, Olivia, it's like something so secret that just we release it now, today, but the splash page is not even created. So apparently we will have some message running soon from Twitter on the Data Plus family. And on September, the topic it's already chosen. It will be data ethic for the Data Plus Women Zurich.
Exactly. So in September, we will talk about data and ethics if you're interested. So exactly, we're coming to the end. So thank you for the audience, and a special thank you to you, Judit, for having this inspirational talk and for presenting in front of us. And yeah, so everyone has a great evening and a very nice summer.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.